Hi, darling. Welcome back. I would like to believe that there was a time when some of us desired to go to the club. I remember looking at older millennials going to the club, and I was like, this is something I would like to experience when I get older. From the performance, from the theatrics of dressing up, putting on makeup, putting on high heels, and to hear their stories as they came back from the club looking disheveled with makeup running down their faces, and the fantastic and fun stories that they had of their experiences made me want to experience a club for myself. And I would like to believe that some of us, more of us, wanted the same experience and wanted to be a part of that realm. And on today's video, I want to talk about why South African club culture is not giving, or it's kind of trashy if we're being honest. Firstly, before I give my breakdown, I want to share a quote with you that I will explain why I chose this particular quote at the end of the video. The quote reads, "It is only when there is no goal and no rush that the human senses are fully open to receive the world." The quote is by Alan Watts. So before I give you my breakdown, I want you to watch a few videos that add context to this topic.
I also feel like clubs are too lenient because what I've seen from my experience is that like clubs will let you in. If you're a honey, they'll let you in no matter how old you are. Because at the end of the day, a baller that's like 30 old, some pedophile is gonna see you and they're gonna buy like two more A's, two ace of spades, and then that's how they make money. The club. So that's why I feel like they just allow anyone to like any han, any age to enter.
No. At clubs, bro, if you just have heels on
Real.
and a dress, bro, you're good to go.
And
They
you're
let you in. They don't care what you are. As long as you have heels, they just say.
Why are you saying you're ling?
Like I've seen clubs more long or because I feel like our outfit we are putting us. Because now I've been rejected to this other club while I was in first year. I was trying to go to the club. I was vying with two of my friends. Both of them, mind you, I'm older than them, like 3 years older. And now we go to the club. One of my parents, I don't know, because I'm from Limpopo.
If you're not a yellow bone, you're not allowed in the section. If you have an...
When you're a big girl, you need to be so beautiful for you to get into the section. You can't just enter the section and change. Okay, so let's talk about it. I used to dibble and dabble in the club scene 2018, 2019. And I was a different body type then. You understand? So I never really knew the biases that club holds because I was desirable in the sense that my body type was what they actually wanted to fill up the club.
All right, so here's some of the clubs, man. Geez, there's a lot. Zanzibar, PTA, News Cafe, all of them. Moloko, Mainland, Coffee, Midrand. So this is places where you can...
These are establishments, food, restaurants.
Where you can get spiked, most likely.
Yes, where spikings have happened.
Yeah, Recharge, Midrand, TOV, Bloom, City Club, CPT, La Parada, Vuyos, Villagazi Street, Cotton Lounge, Summit, Mainland, Nostra, Rouge, Hatfield, 86 Republic, Randburg, Cubana. Man, we've played everywhere here, my man.
Republic, that's no way. Cubana. Which is Cubana?
There's a lot more, man, like Egyptian, Latina, Rivonia, Onyx, Sandek, Booth, Santon, Blue Room, Hatfield. There's a lot. Yours truly,
but then
CPT.
that's unfair. You know what I feel that is? I feel that's like, for example, waking up and finding your name on a Me Too list, but there's no one saying, there's nothing. Where's all the incidences? Where's the... No. Imagine if you...
No, here is not a playground. La kudliwa umuntu la. La ungena unenyuku la ubo ukuthi yes. And abafaki nanoma ubani lapha ne room on date.
Firstly, let's talk about the club culture, the atmosphere inside the club. One of the things that I noticed about clubs compared to the past, in the past, clubs were spaces of cultural expression, spaces of meeting new people, and spaces of diverse self expression. I might not have been there in that time, but from the documentaries I see, people just seemed to be having a way more fun time than now. The atmosphere now in a lot of clubs, it's very superficial. Like if you even listen to stories from bottle girls, they'll tell you the same thing, that even to become a bottle girl, you have to be beautiful, you have to be well kept, you have to have the weave, you have to have the nails, you have to have the makeup on point, everything. And it's even the same for the girls who want to just come to the club and have fun. There is an expectation, especially in more affluent areas, like the clubs in Sandton, the clubs in Camps Bay, the clubs in more affluent part of South Africa. There is an expectation for you to be perfect or to fit the mold of beauty in this current time. And also, let's talk about the fact that in the clubs, there is a lot of pocket watching or very gaudy expressions of wealth. Like, I don't know if all the people in the club are wealthy, but I know one thing is that in the club, you are, especially most for men, but obviously even for the women coming in, there is an expectation for you to spend money. The atmosphere expects you to spend money, like a lot of money. It's something for me is incredibly annoying when I go to a club and I see like they post the music and it's that song. I don't know, it's that Undertaker song or that Dorime, da 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 da. I don't even know how to sing it, but there is that thing when the bottle wars are happening, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Do people really find those expressions, those things exciting where you see people and it's like those lights and I don't know, those flickering, what do I call them? They look like fireworks when people are bringing, it just feels to me like when you're in grade 1 or in primary and they're doing your birthday for you and they're bringing you like these funny party things. And I'm just like, are there adults who actually find gratification from that? Or they find value from that? And I don't know. My conclusion from that expression of wealth is that you are, when men or the ballers are spending that much money in the club, it's basically for them to establish that we are not the same, we are not on the same level. And it's also, obviously, we all know, it is to attract more women to them. And I don't know, some people could be like, no, lirata depth, hori. No, it's true. Let's be honest, most expenses done by men are done with the intention to impress women. So even in the club, like you see this very extreme expressions of wealth where people are overspending. And because of that type of atmosphere and culture, when you don't want to spend money at the club, you are looked at as below. You won't get free things at the club. You won't get things that are supposed to be free. This, for me, is just like capitalism. It's basically capitalism. Why am I paying to sit down? Why are the prices of the alcohol in there so high? Like, I did my own research and I found out that the price of an Ace of Spades bottle currently is about 5,800 Rand. But at the club, it goes up to 17K, 14K, and even more. Anyway, man, I'm just like, please make it make sense to me. Please. enlighten me. I know that I read that there's more expensive alcohol has better quality in taste, but why are you buying such inflated alcohol prices for the validation of other people? Like, why do you have to buy such expensive bottles of alcohol? I know someone's going to say you're jealous because you can't afford it. Yes, I can't afford it, but even if I did, I was never going to buy such an expensive bottle of alcohol. Even when I do go to the club, I've never spent anything above 1,000 Rand. But even when you spend like that, they will make sure to make you feel so uncomfortable because you're not spending, you're not booking a section. Why am I buying a section? It's not land. And let's talk about the politics of section culture. Like, people in the sections think it's almost like a hierarchy. I'm genuinely convinced that human beings love hierarchy. They like to feel better than other people. We like to be like, yeah. Because have you seen the behavior of people in sections? It's almost like they've gotten a plot of land. They've gotten this, and they're even mean. Like, when you come into the section, it's not only the women, but some of the men as well. Like, there is a level of animosity sometimes, not all the time, because I know there are lovely people you will meet at the club, but sometimes you can just feel that even you being able to be invited to a section, some people would be aggressive to that. They don't like that. Section culture ruined nightlife. Why is it called a club if 90% or 80% of the space is just sections? They make you so uncomfortable to dance. Like, for me, my idea of a club is a space to dance. It is a space to express yourself. And the section people, the bottle ballers and all the bottle whores, someone would ask me, why do you care? Why do you care? I care because I want to have a fun experience. I think personally, for me, clubbing is one of those activities that are deeply spiritual. I know someone's going to be like, what? Spiritual? Yes, I mean spiritual. South Africa has a huge range of different music genres, right? And some of the music we have, especially early piano, I'm a piano, there was something beautiful there where you go to a club, you dance. It's like you release a lot of the negative things going on in your life. You are releasing, you are relaxing, you are enjoying yourself, you are just flowing and being free. But now, sections have made it so impossible for you to even dance. They're like, if you want to dance, you can dance, but we'll give you a small space to dance. If you want to sit down, you have to pay to sit down. They made it such a commercial enterprise that there's a heavy feeling I get every time I go to affluent clubs. And someone's going to say, why do you care? People are spending their own money. My worry is that as someone who understands and studies a lot of, especially psychology, and just trying to constantly understand human beings, when your identity is centered around material things, it is a very shaky foundation. It's like building a house on sand. On sand, it's more likely to shift and chip away. What happens to your identity? If your identity is you as Mr. Big Spender, and people are drawn to you because they know you will spend a lot, what happens to your identity as this big man? What happens when you don't have money? Who do you become? You're building your identity on a shaky ground. You're building your sense of attraction, because yes, you will attract women. You definitely will, but the type of women you will attract are not attracted to you. they're attracted to what you have. And this is not a profound realization. This is just, I feel, common sense. And you don't have the audacity to complain when you attract short-term things. Maybe that's what you want. Because even as I was reading articles, is that women, there was a study, I'll link everything that I say is linked somewhere down below. There's a study that talked about how women don't see men who spend exorbitant amounts of money as good long-term mating partners. Someone will ask me, why do you want to be in these destructive and basically negative spaces? Why do I want to go to a club so bad? Guys, do you realize that going to these clubs in these affluent areas, I'm not going there because I want to feel better than other people. I'm going there because most people go to these clubs because it's safer. It's way safer than if I go to the hood. No shade to the hood, but it's way safer than if I went to Soshanguve or Tembisa or Alexandra, whereby if I step on someone's shoe or something, a fight is more likely to be out of control and can happen. I'm paying to these spaces in like Santon, in Rosebank, in Camps Bay, because they are safer. There's bouncers. It's the safety aspect. And also, guys, just because we're adults doesn't mean we cannot play. I am not going to spend my life going to work, making a living, doing repetitive, monotonous things, to not be able to go and actually enjoy myself and release. Like, I read a psychology article that talked about how important playing, even as an adult, is. It's literally good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health. Dancing to music is good for you. Moving without any thought in the world. But now it's gotten to a point whereby it feels like going to a club feels like, imagine you go to a park. I want to go there to have fun and dance. But it feels like there's someone constantly trying to police my movement. You can't sit here. You didn't pay for a section. You can't move here. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. It's like, imagine being a kid and playing at a park and someone's following you around. It's like, you can't sit there. You can't walk there. You can't touch that. You can't do that. That is how it feels to be in a club. Especially, I'm not going to pay for a section. I'm sorry. I want to be there to be free. I want to feel that level of self-expression, and it's not there. And I even thought about, what about different spaces? What about different spaces like other forms of places where you can dance and listen to music with other people? But guys, let's be honest, events like that happen once in a while. Clubs are more convenient because they are always open every weekend. Whereas these social events that involve dancing, festivals, music festivals, they happen once in a while. I love playing. I love to revitalize myself because life is too monotonous. But the club has also become very monotonous. That is the contradiction. That is the interesting thing that I've seen. It's so monotonous. Let's go to the topic of music. Same music all the time. Same music all the time. And I understand it's all part of capitalism. We need to make sure that we make as much profit. So we're going to bring the artists that are trending at that time, which negates the fact that South Africa has such talented people from different genres. But right now, whatever popular genre is, we will fixate on that. We will make sure we produce so many songs on that. We will exhaust the genre. And that's how I started believing that ain't no way people enjoy listening to the same music every weekend. I don't enjoy eating the same food 3 days in a row. You can't tell me that people actually enjoy doing the same thing every single weekend. You can't tell me you enjoy listening to Amapiano every single weekend. I like diversity. I want to go to a club that plays different music. Like, ever since I started traveling internationally, it has opened me up to the fact that some countries will literally have a club for different genres. There's a hip hop club, there's a reggae club, there is a Caribbean music club, there is clubs that play hip hop. We don't have that in South Africa, and even if we do, it's usually in dangerous townships. So, what do we do? I don't know. I want to hear your suggestions. I want you to realize something about the club, especially clubs in affluent areas. Study marketing and you'll understand what's actually happening. It's all capitalism, it's all part of production. Clubs are now about making the most money, and it's about selling an image. Everyone in there is selling an image. The men are selling affluence and luxury and wealth. The women, they are selling beauty. They're selling an ideal version of beauty. There's a very club kind of centered look of beauty. You're selling an image, you're selling a lifestyle that you don't live every day. Like, even at the doors of the clubs, have you seen some of the cars, the luxury cars that you see out there? Well, I found some information. Some of the cars that you see parked outside these affluent luxury clubs actually are rentals. They are actually rentals. Some of them, yes, some of them belong to customers. But guys, it takes a little bit of Googling. And I even saw a comment that actually talked about this on a video on Room 130. You can rent out luxury cars and park them outside your club to make the club look very exclusive, upmarket. So the smoke and mirrors of clubs have also taken the soul out of clubbing. Someone's going to be like, well, don't go, stay home. I'm like, guys, do you realize that life is already stressful, going to work, doing the same thing? I love to dance. I love music. Like I said before, music is a spiritual experience for me. Some people go to church to dance and praise and sing. Some of us want to go into spaces with music that we resonate with and enjoy ourselves. It's part of being human to dance, to play, to enjoy yourself. Not everything has to be serious. So, why did I use that quote by Alan Watts in the beginning? It talks to being able to be present in a moment without facade, without being expected to pay, without illusions, without constantly having to be a perfect person, without worrying about, oh my God, I have to pay for a section, I have to pay for this, I have to do that. The commercializing of fun has sucked basically the life out of fun. We already know that everyone in the club is trying to sell you something. The promoters are trying to sell you something. Sometimes they're trying to sell you, the women, to some of their customers. Nothing in there is for free. Someone's always trying to get something from you. And it would be nice to actually enjoy fun without expectations, without wanting to posture and create an image or wanting to pose for the gram. It's so hard to be present right now and enjoy the club experience because you don't want to trend and end up on Twitter because you were just being yourself and dancing in the club and everyone has their phone out. It's so hard not to be pretentious when you constantly feel like at any moment, anything bad or anything embarrassing happening to you in the club space can be filmed and immortalized. That is something people in the past didn't have to worry about as much. So darlings, let me know, what do you think about our current club culture? And if you watched the video till the end, leave a heart, any color, in the comment section. And thank you for watching.